Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Talking is a Free Action. I am the Warlock, and I am delighted to have as my guest this evening the one, the only, Pip.
Hello.
Hello, Pip.
Oh, no.
It's such a pleasure to meet you. Welcome to my chamber of pacts.
Oh, no.
I've made so many deals with so many people over the years that I struggle to keep track of all of them. But in this lovely space, you see before you a series of doors. Behind each of them is a little present from one of my dear, dear friends. And together we're going to tease out some of how you like to do things, but if at any point you feel like you wish to run, you can. Talking is a free action. And you may always ask a higher entity known as Tom, who I believe is part of your persona, to take over, and then maybe they can have a longer conversation. What do you think about that?
I kind of lost you at Pact, but if someone's going to help me out, I'll be much appreciated. Oh, no. Oh, no. I don't think I made a pact with you. I don't want this. I don't want any of this.
Oh, no, don't worry. You've not made any pacts. I have too many, and it's had some rather strange reactions. But more on that as we come to it, dear Pip. Pip.
Oh.
Before we get in too deep, I feel we should tell everyone that this is part of Roll Together's streaming platform. I'm one of the question masters, and we are supported and sponsored even by Hero Forge, Ultra Pro, Phoenix Dice, and Alchemy RPG, and supported by Idle Champions, D&D Beyond, Warriors of Waterdeep, Neverwinter, and Elderwood Academy. Some of my packs.
Oh.
Don't worry your little head about it, Pip. Let's find our way through our first door, shall we?
Yes.
What do you say?
I don't agree to any pacts, but yes, adventure. Let's go.
I'm glad to hear it. All right, darling Pip. We're going to do this slightly differently because I love chaos. So, if you have any dice in front of you or something similar...
I've got this in my pockets.
Always carry dice.
You never know when a game may break out. What would you like me to get out?
A D100.
Oh, crumbs. That's a big one. All right.
It's a big one.
I can count to 100. I'm not good with letters, but I can do numbers.
That's very impressive. I'm sure other mortals are very impressed with you.
I'm sure they are. Thank you. Oh, dear.
What have you got, Pip?
I've got myself. Yes, I've got I got 2 dice to make 100.
Good.
Oh. Would you like me to roll them?
Yes.
Okay. We start with 15.
15. Glorious. Oh, Pip.
Oh.
Of all the things you could have chosen. There is a door in front of you. The door is ornate stonework around the outside in beautiful fashion. The door itself wooden, mundane, but something about it reeks of pomp, circumstance, power.
Yes.
Please do.
Open the door.
The door opens onto what you can only assume is some kind of material world street. Have you spent any time on the material plane, Pip?
I went to visit my boyfriend for a bit, but I didn't like it very much, so I went back to the Fae.
Where does your boyfriend live, Pip?
Oh no! Oh dear! I don't think I can lie to you.
You can certainly try.
Waterdeep. Oh, why did I say that?
It is a street in Waterdeep. How convenient. When you were in Waterdeep, Pip, did you see the walking, talking statues?
The bits that the statues that got the bits out.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hardly miss them.
Well, Pip, they've started walking.
Oh, that's
A
rude.
gigantic rumbling footstep crushes into the ground about 100 feet away from you, and you see a giant figure. Figure's running away, scared, smaller at its feet. What do you do?
I assume that I'm going to have to fight this. I mean, I have the habit of charging into combat that's bigger and scarier than me, and I don't want it destroying Waterdeep. I've only there been a little bit, but it seems nice, and the people don't seem like they should be crushed. Oh no!
You care about this place. Does meaning to you.
I mean, Ogden likes it very much. Old Georgie. I'm just giving you names. I shouldn't be giving you names. Why am I telling you names?
Tell me about Ogden and old Georgie.
They were doing a show in the Feywild, and they got lost, and I helped them out, and Ogden is a very kind and friendly soul who I don't think would enjoy this. He would actually be smart enough to try and work his way out. But and old Georgie's they're both nice, and they don't deserve to be crushed by big feet.
What about all the people who you don't know?
I assume that they're nice as well. I mean, it's not been my experience that people are nice, but you've got to try and give people chances. I don't think they deserve to get crushed by big statues.
Aren't you sweet?
I try.
So you're going to run in full speed and attack the statue, are you?
I think I'm going to charge in on the back of... Yes, I'm just going to run in on my 2 feet.
Nutmeg is there.
Oh, hell's bells and chamomile.
Well, I tried to separate you, but she wouldn't have it.
No, she's a power unto herself.
Isn't she?
Yeah.
So, you charge at the feet of the statue? Do you really think you can stop it?
I might be able to slow it down or find like a weak spot. There's legends of like giant statues that have like plugs in their feet that all the liquid pours out. It might be like that. I don't know.
All the liquid.
All the liquid. There's like liquid, statue liquid.
Okay. All the liquid, fine.
Statue liquid, yeah.
You charge towards the feet, but there is no plug.
Oh.
It's just a giant stone foot. Do you strike it with your trusty sword?
I will lance it. I will poke it at a distance.
Oh, I'm sure that extra 10 feet will make a huge difference to a walking statue.
I mean, 10 feet can make all the difference.
So be it, Pip. You charge in, you attack. Can you make me an attack roll?
I will use these handy-dandy dice of mine. Depending on when you took me in my timeline, this might have different numbers, but...
It is your most recent iteration, i.e. the one who was recently in Sordid Baker.
Oh, you saw the pudding episode.
I did, and I was most pleased by it.
Really? Is it your right type of chaos? Is that the sort of thing you like?
There were squishy things.
Oh.
Yes, it was my kind of chaos.
Oh, sorry, that was the complete sentence. There were squishy things, yes.
Yes.
So that's an 18 to hit.
Well, do you think an 18 is going to hit a gigantic, massive stone statue, Pip?
Well, I think it would hit. I don't necessarily know if it will do damage, but it's like hitting a wall.
It is precisely like hitting a wall. You do nothing.
Oh.
But it also doesn't even notice you.
No.
It will keep going and destroying the city unless you do something.
Well, again, it's magic. I'm not good with magic. I can't...
So you're helpless?
I'm not helpless. I'm probably going to get myself crushed, or hope that if... I'm not going to slow it down, but maybe like if Enoch, my friend, was here, Enoch knows magic. Enoch might know how to get rid of it. And I assume there are heroes in Waterdeep. I mean, I haven't seen any, but some powerful being might turn up.
Don't you have abilities that let you draw an enemy's focus or ire?
I sure do. Okay, I'm going to challenge it to a duel. Pip, the Cavalier versus the giant naked statue.
You're going to compel it to duel you?
I think the exact words I'm looking for are, come and have a go if you think you're hard enough.
And you say that to a stone statue, do you?
I think it's going to be very hard.
Pip, I'm not going to roll for it. There is no need. As you challenge the statue, it will abandon its destruction of the city and turn its focus to you. You know that this is a fight you cannot win. Do you continue to fight on your own?
Oh, I fully expect that it needs to come and fight me. It needs to chase me. If I can run it out of the city, if it can follow me in Nutmeg, we might be able to get it. We might, as I said, a few feet can matter and a couple of minutes. Who knows what brave hero might turn up while we're...
You think you're faster than a walking statue?
I look forward to finding out.
Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, Pip. Well, that's an 8.
Oh, you try and run, but it is faster than you. Pip, it is about to crush you under its gigantic stone foot. You and Nutmeg, what would you like?
I can't let that happen. Talking is a free action.
Oh my.
I don't know why I said that. I didn't mean it. Yes, I meant that, though. I don't want Nutmeg to die. Stop it. No. Hi.
All right, Tom. Fine.
Hey. Look, I know that Pip wouldn't understand that there's a certain dream aspect to this.
Yeah.
Good on him. Good on him for trying. You know, full credit to the boy.
I am not surprised that Pip would sacrifice himself for the greater good. There is a good streak that runs through Pip, isn't there?
Yes. Unfortunately, some of you don't get to see it because the mysterious episode where Pip tried to sacrifice himself and inadvertently proposed.
I think Pip still gives that vibe, though, right? The self-sacrificial vibe, sure. All right, let's give you a question. Let's get you one of these lovely, lovely new questions.
Yes.
Where are they? There they are. All right. If you had to suddenly give a 20-minute presentation on something that wasn't related to D&D or your job, what would you pick?
Ooh. Now, that's the weird thing, because my job could inadvertently be a ton of weird things.
Like, yeah, that's very fair.
Like, I'm working on a show with a friend where we're talking about, like, Algernon Swinburne, you know, who was a writer, whose hat was blown overboard when he was crossing from Paris to England. And then it's our belief that the hat, you know, so my friend's sort of like, this is the chart of this is where the hat would have been. And then it's me kind of doing a kind of like, actually, I could prove that this hat has inadvertently affected all of history, including like the 1922 New York hat riots, where because that was that it was the fashion to wear like straw hats, and then like people then decided they were going to wear the straw hats after a certain date, and people were like, no, that's unacceptable, and they started taking people's hats out and like jumping on top of them, and people started like bringing weapons, and they're like, you're not touching my hat, you know, weird tangents like that, you know.
Right.
Yeah, bizarre. So much history seems to have come from people being upset about hats, or like they've said like Victorian women would carry like hat pins in their mouths because people would try and kiss them, and so if you tried,
I've heard this one. Yeah, I've heard some before. Yeah.
So yeah, this is the sort of thing, like the sort of like trying to like the holistic way of like storytelling, where I'm like everything is linked into everything else.
Was Swinburne in a relationship with Rossetti?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And he also had a massive head, and so he had real trouble buying hats. And so,
so there's more to it than just the hat flew off. Like he was a special hat.
It was a special, like, because he had a massive head, you know, just sort of.
Okay, so you could give an entire lecture on Swinburne. That's interesting.
Yeah, sort of things like that, or kind of like...
but it is sort of related to work, Tom.
Yes, so I need to talk... But that's the thing, like, to talk about things that I wouldn't connect it, like...
like a sort of hobby thing that isn't D&D and isn't work. Although it is unfair, I agree, because being an actor, especially a devising actor who makes your own shows, if you like something a lot, you'll turn it into a show eventually.
Absolutely. Or even, like, so, like, I was talking to some people the other day where they were talking about, like... it was like a thing of like, oh, like a checklist for millennials, and they were like, did you ever make a collect call? And I said, well, not really. And then I started saying, well, I was listening to something, there's a podcast I listen to where they're talking about like footballers' autobiographies.
Sure.
Don't care about sports. Love this because it's just so bizarre. And there was like this one footballer where he tried to like, his thing, he would go to the phone box and like call collect so he could call his girlfriend. And then it turns out, you know, and you get the money back and, you know, sort of back and forth. Yeah. And then it turns out that there was like a police sting to work out who was doing all these phone calls. And so he was in the phone box and then the police turned up and he just went, Mary, they found us, run! I got dragged off. And she's just sitting in a house going, what's happened? So sort of like stuff like that where I'm just like, I'm picking up on like the utterly bizarre stories. And it's also good for conversation where someone's like, oh, you should care about football. And I'm like, not really, but I'll talk about this footballer getting arrested. Was it? I can't, that's the problem, I can't remember. That's the sort of like, hey,
I mean, you'd say a name and I'd go, okay, because I don't watch football either.
His name was Henry Curtains, and he was very good, and he played for Chestnuts.
One question is, did he ever pull himself together?
He didn't. He didn't, Chris. It's sort of like, yeah, just sort of like, as you said, this is the problem. Like, you start coming across something where you're like...
I'd argue the same. If I'm there working, I mean, I'm not a devising creator in the way that you are, but if I'm reading about something I find fascinating, it will find its way into something I'm working on in some capacity. Of course it will.
And because I'm this kind of nerd where someone would just be like, do a 20-minute presentation now. And I'm like, absolutely. Should we talk about Tim Fitzhiggin crossing the channel in a bathtub? Because I read the book. Do you know that English is the national language of the sea, as decided by Horatio Nelson? You know, things like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that must be hideously out of date now.
So that was it. He was trying to cross the channel and contacted the French. And so the French just constantly were like, well, we're not, no. But spoke to him in French. He called the Admiralty and they said, they have to talk to you in English. English is the language of the sea. And he was like, when was that decided? They were like, 1805, Admiral Nelson, you tell the French. And he's like, I don't think I will.
Bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, just...
I mean, from a post-colonial perspective, there's one area where we could very much have gone, I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're right. Like, a similar thing, right? When he was told to contact the Admiralty, they were like, okay, so when you talk to a Navy man, say, hello, old man, how are your footlucks? And then he will respond, at their furthest distance. And he said, well, what does that mean? And they said, absolutely no idea. No one ever knows, but it's what you say. You know, see, this is the thing, right? I'm just like, as you appreciate, where I'm just like, I'm just going to go off on these wild tangents.
And it made it into a show or two. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Have I talked enough to save my boy?
Yeah, I think probably. I mean, I'll check in with the warlock. Hang on. Yeah. And then we can, yeah.
You're welcome, Pip. What's happening? Oh, no.
Delicious.
Oh, no.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh. Pip Tom was so good to me.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad he's...
As the statue's foot rolls closer and closer towards you, you see a doorway opening in front of you. Do you ride through?
Yes, I'm getting out of here. Sorry, Waterdeep.
You pass through the doorway and it slams shut behind you, just as you hear an echoing thud, roaring all around you, echoing away into nothing.
I assume someone's going to have some warriors, some monster hunters. Someone's got to deal with that.
Maybe it's an adventure for another time.
Pew pew.
Now, Pip.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll that D100 again and let's see what the next door is.
Okie dokie smoky. That is a 64.
Interesting.
Oh.
64, is it?
Woo. Oh no, I never like the laughter. I don't like a lot of this, actually, but...
I'm sorry to hear it. You will be released at a certain point. I just need your...
knowledge.
Oh, I mean, I've got an entire book of, like, interesting knowledge. Have you read... Yeah, I helped write a book, yeah. It was
Can I have it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean...
That solves a lot of my problems, actually.
I mean, I'm willing to keep going, but you can have a copy of the book, yeah. I'll sign.
Oh, we can do end with a autograph session or something.
Yeah, we'll do a little signing session, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The door.
Okay.
The door in front of you.
Yeah.
It has a strange swirling design around the outside. It looks like, in many ways, the door the sides are a reflection of each other, but details are wrong. Details are incorrect. Something about it is mysterious. It is an archway with a smoky line through it. Do you pass through?
I think I have to.
As you walk through in front of you, you see... Who is the person you would most like to see in the entire multiverse?
Oh, well, well, Nutmeg's here, so can see her. I'd quite like to see Ogden, but then if I could see absolutely anyone in order. I've never met my mother. I'd like to see my mother, but, I've got no. I don't know if I want to know that. Ogden, I'll see Ogden.
Standing there is Ogden.
Oh, hello.
And next to Ogden...
Another Ogden.
Oh, no.
There are two of them. Ogden 1 looks at you and says, Pip, is that you? Please save me. I'm trapped here against my will. I'd quite like to leave. And the other one says, don't listen to them, Pip. They're not the real Ogden. I'm the real Ogden. Please save me. Which one do you choose? Both look at you pleadingly, adoringly.
No. I can't take both, can I?
Take them where, Pip? There's no door out of here.
Okay, I guess I live here now.
Choose one and a door will appear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's the problem that Ogden number 1.
Yes, Pip. It's me.
What's my real name?
Jack Tion.
Oh, and Ogden 2. What's Nutmeg's real name?
Now, I should know this, but I don't.
Hi, do you want to talk to Tom?
Yeah, Tom, what's Nutmeg's real name? I can't remember.
Sturshka.
Sturshka.
It's, I think it's crown in Russian. Yeah.
Because Jack Tion's also a reference, isn't it?
Yes. So Action was a Greek hunter who was killed by and then sort of like it was kind of like Action. It's like Action. You know. It's
I see.
Kind of like
Sturshka, right?
Sturshka. Yeah.
All right.
Back. Nice talking to you, Chris. Back we go.
Thank you, Tom. Stashka, of course.
Oh, my ingenious plan hasn't worked out.
I'm afraid they both seem to have the same knowledge.
That's a problem. I'm gonna walk over and I'm gonna put one hand on one face and one hand on the other. Do they feel like Ogden?
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, interesting. A feely check.
A feely check.
I'm not good at investigation, but
No, I didn't think so.
it's a 15. It's not terrible.
They feel exactly the same.
Oh, dear.
Actually, one's got slightly more stubble than the other.
Oh, Ogden is a tidy boy. You know, if there was, I feel if there was a different aspect of Tom here, one who would probably freak out by that. But Pip, who is me, I will choose the non-stubbly boy and say, even if it turns out you're an evil monster, I too once was an evil monster. Well, morally dubious. We could work together. Hey, do you want a job? And that job's being my boyfriend.
Oh, Tom.
Yeah. Hello.
I'm still in character. Look at me.
I just get to smile because I'm Pip and everything's great.
As you reach out to grab Ogden's hand, the Ogden that you're sure is the real Ogden, another similar doorway appears behind you, and you don't know whether it's the real one or not. The other Ogden pleads, says Pip, no. You've chosen the wrong Ogden, please.
So, fake Ogden, I'm going to explain this again. I'm from the Fae. We deal with changeling children all the time. But the trick is, you love them exactly the same, and if you could take both, you would take both. But actually, I take the other one's hand.
The door fades away because it's...
Not that. Oh, okay.
No, you must choose.
Fine. If it's not the real you, I don't care what is real. We live in a world of magic. I'm a stag man, so come along.
Both of the Ogdens also look somewhat like, totes.
Yeah, you know,
They get your vibe.
Yeah.
One is still sad to be left behind, obviously.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will come along, and you know, the warlock will, I don't know, send you. You get to hang out with, I don't know, the statue. I don't know what else.
Don't worry, the other one will be destroyed.
Oh, well, good recycling. Wait, that's dark even for me. Wow.
Now, one of my many pacts is to a creature that hungers constantly.
Is it an otter you?
No.
Because otter you befriend an otter you. That's another book, which is not written by me, but I got read it. Come along, Ogden. No. Adventure awaits.
The other one is just hungry all the time. But anyway.
Okay.
The door in front of you is an archway. You pass through. Ogden vanishes.
Oh.
He's fine.
Good.
He's fine.
Good. I'll
Nothing
never know.
to worry about here. Roll your D100 again.
That is a 56.
Interesting. The archway in front of you is a black vortex. It seems to draw you towards it as you step through this first doorway. You are being pulled. Do you try and resist?
Do you try and resist?
I think...
Try and resist.
Nope! Here I go! Whee!
You are pulled into a vortex. It is dark. You feel floor under your feet. It's slightly carpeted, spongy.
Oh.
What do you do? What do you do?
Well, like all good things where I'm just going to go, I've got dark vision, but that doesn't count.
I'm afraid it's magical darkness.
Yeah, of course. Of course it is.
You're not that kind of... Only warlocks like me can see in this magical darkness.
I I will see if I have a way of making light. I don't think I have. I've only got dance magic. I just going through I do have a tinderbox.
You spark it, but nothing happens because this darkness is magical.
You're in a dark room. How can you find the light switch? Yeah, I know the
turn
vibes.
left, right, forward.
Oh, there's a cash prize, is there, though? Is there?
He is one of my many patrons.
Of course he is. I am going to see if I can find... I'm going to touch the floor. The spongy, carpety floor.
It's like a warm summer's field, except it's artificial and feels yucky.
Oh, so quite the opposite.
Yes.
Is it breathing?
No. Even for me, that's fucked up.
I just need to know if I'm in something's tummy, Warlock.
No. Dear God, Pip, what's wrong with you?
I'm very weird. I don't know if you picked up on that. I've been working on it, but I've spent most of my... I don't even know how old I am. I've spent most of my existence in a wood with corruption and weird things in ponds. You probably even made deals with my mothers. I don't know. Anyway.
Who are your mums?
So there's...
Who are your mums?
Who are your mums?
Who are your mums?
Who are your mums and what do they do? They're sort of, that's the thing. I always thought they were dryads, but then, by talking to other people, the trees were rotting and strangeness, and they wanted people to come into the forest so they could eat them.
Definitely a bad sign.
Absolutely. There was also a thing in the pond that kept trying to eat me. Sometimes it was tentacles, sometimes it was a woman. It's that sort of thing that as soon as you start having a life experience, you start talking to someone else, and then you're like, hey, wasn't it weird when the things in the pond tried to eat you? And they're like, no, I lived in a city. There were rats. And I was like, oh yeah, the trees ate the rats. Not the things in the trees, the actual trees. Yeah. Actually, this isn't so weird for me. I would be more surprised to be in a tummy, but
I think I'm getting pulled into a sidebar. Tom, did you catch the reference that was made in Mercantile Bog about Pip?
And the horn, yeah.
Autumn Stag, there was a, what did this call them? Shards. There was a shard network piece that connected to the Autumn Stag. Yeah. Who's your dad, I believe.
Yes.
Is Nutmeg's dad.
Nutmeg's dad, yes. So he's the Autumn Stag, or the Horned King of the Forest, who gives people little tasks to do, which are sometimes they're like, go save something, or how many tears could you get in a teacup, or do something interesting with this egg. You've got 10 minutes. All the information's on the task, which, of course, Pip can't read, so... he has to have it explained to him, but...
I had forgotten that the Lord of the Hunt is Alex Horn.
Yes.
I mean, that's not canon, Tom. Alex Horn is not a character in the Togetherverse.
Oh, you wait until I get my hands on the Feywild.
Stop, you cannot make a real person a character in the Togetherverse.
It's not Alex Horn, it's an aspect of Alex Horn. There's Alex Horn, Stagman, and then there's just a giant bear which sits on a throne and gives out prizes which are versions of the bear's head. Yeah.
And the bear is nominally in charge, and everyone believes the bear's in charge, but it's not.
Yes, absolutely. And then you come... To be honest, this is like the 17th weirdest thing about the Feywild. Of course, we have a bake-off. Of course, there's a version of Taskmaster where you come in. Yeah.
Look, I'm fine if we want to say canonically that there's a version of Taskmaster, except it's a hunting the greatest game style game, and if you get it wrong, you die. And the Lord of the Hunt runs it, and he has horns and gives out silly tasks, and if they don't fulfill them correctly, they die. That's great. I'm fine with that, but it can't be Alex Horn.
How about I put a mask on him, and then no one can tell? He's just like
legally, we're in hot water already.
He's wearing a big leaf, so he's just... Yeah.
Look, you're in the middle of a challenge room, and the Warlock wants to get back to it, so I'm going to let them take back over again, but not really Alex Horn, okay?
Okay.
Good. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah?
It's not Alex Horn. What? What do you mean? Who's not Alex Horn?
I think our higher entities are, frankly, fuckwits. Now, you're in the middle of something, Pip.
Yes.
Roll me a perception check.
Ooh. That's an 11.
You hear voices around you, clinking of cutlery on plates.
Am I at a dinner party?
Maybe.
Oh no. Am I the main course?
Maybe.
Because people have tried to eat me in the past.
Why don't you find out?
Okay.
You're right, it's dark, you don't know where to go.
I'm gonna go.
There is no door.
Well,
yet.
There might be a door, I just can't see it.
Correct.
I'm gonna go forwards. I'm gonna walk.
You bump your shin on a chair.
No. Oh dear.
You bark it awfully.
Oh, Papa Pichu. Oh, that's smart.
That's going to sting.
Ouchies.
On the other side of the table, you hear a voice go, "Oh, sorry."
That's all right. I think I've inadvertently gate crashed your party. I'd like to leave now, if that's okay, thank you.
I thought you were here to sit with me. I'm so alone. My date stood me up.
Oh no! And I sit down in the chair and go, that's terrible. What do you mean?
Make me feel better.
Okay. Have you... We're in a restaurant, are we?
Yes, I have an affliction, which means it's better if people don't see my eyes.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to take a precaution.
It's pitch black thing.
Yeah,
it's pitch black. Nothing. You don't need to do that. Stop it. You don't need to do that.
No, but someone could turn the lights on and surprise me, and that would be mean.
How does one turn the lights on? You come from a fantasy universe.
You cast a light spell. You turn it on, or you light the tinder, warlock.
I'm just prodding.
Well, I banged my shins and I'm very tender. Okay, hello.
Hello.
You can call me Pip. What can I call you?
That's a nice name, Pip. I am Medusa.
Oh, okay. I think I know what's happening here. Right. Shall we order some dinner and you can tell me all about yourself?
You really want to hear all about me?
I like meeting new people.
Okay, then I'll have the linguine. You have a lovely dinner. Medusa tells you all about herself. Do you actively listen?
I think Pip's a good active listener. Yes, I am.
I don't think there's a role required for this. Yeah. Pip's a very nice boy, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm a monster, but I'm a sweet monster.
I think when we first met you were a monster, but you've changed.
Yeah. Everyone wants to kiss cryptids.
I mean, that's also true, but it's a different time, different place.
Different place. I mean, we could do a post-show talking about lovely cryptids, but that's not why we're here.
I've kissed too many cryptids in my time. It's done terrible things to my soul. Anyway... If you want to actively listen to the Medusa and enjoy her company, and she will enjoy yours, how do you leave things with her?
I think I leave it cordial, and I say, I think whoever stood you up is a fool. You're an utter delight, and
You've never sounded more like Richard Iowade in your entire life.
You're a lovely person. I've had a wonderful time, and now I'm tired, and I'd like to go home. Hooray!
Very out of character for me, but I felt it worth saying.
I said like the veil between the universes. It's fine. Yes, I basically I can't do it now. Hello. Fire. You're very charming. I said whoever didn't broke your heart, ignore them. They're the worst. They're just one paving stone on the path of the rest of your life.
That's very loquacious for you, Pip.
I'm picking up on, maybe one... I'll put it this way. It's a branch on your path. You just walk over it, you move on.
I'm not criticizing you have written a book after all.
I have, I co-wrote a book. First of all, I had to dictate it, and then I learned how to, I've learned how to read a bit. I do have trouble with, D's and P's. They sometimes get switched around, but... yes, so basically, I've had a lovely time. The pudding was great, and I wish the Medusa all the best. And yes, it's
she
nice to have
does ask you for a second date.
Oh, well, I just rescued my ghost boy. Ooh, you know what's fun? Polyamory, sure.
That's all it took. That's all it took.
Look, in Roll Together, power thrupples. It's so... I've been married multiple times and I've been in multiple thrupples.
The Medusa clearly seems excited by the thought and will happily meet you and Ogden for a longer chat, maybe back in Waterdeep, although I should remind you that all of this is happening in your mind, although maybe it's made Pip reconsider some options. Who can say?
Oh yes, Pip has now found good conservative beliefs. You're like, hey, you spent most of your life in the forest, and now monogamy.
That's true. It would be weird, wouldn't it? It would be strange. Anyway,
I might be married to Nutmeg. I'm not quite sure of the relationship. We're emotionally tied. I can't leave her. Oh, I said Nutmeg's got to come on the date as well.
Oh,
hey, this is my boyfriend, and this is my giant elk. You know how sometimes people bring their dog along? You're like, oh, I'd love to meet your dog. You're like, hi, would you like to meet a performative goddess? She makes Autumn happen. Hello. I'm very strange, Warlock. I think you're discovering that. I don't think you're quite what I was expecting, and I'm actually having a lovely time. I mean, I've nearly died.
Yeah, character fucking. Tom, I'm going to ask you a question. You've passed that one, but I want to ask you a question anyway because I think I'm completely out of character now.
Hi.
You broke me.
Thank you.
Proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Nice. Oh. What's an arc or adventure you'd love to explore in a campaign and haven't had the chance to do so yet?
Ooh, interesting.
I mean, I ask you this as one of the DMs, but you're a DM as well. So is there something you'd like to DM that hasn't been done arc properly? So not just characters you've played.
Well, that was the interesting thing. So like when I was going, oh yeah, the gate crashes. We haven't looked at it. And then suddenly gate crashes kept coming up. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. I mean, like I've said before, like, what's happened to Ilex? Is he okay? He doesn't seem okay. This problem is I keep coming on Talk Together and just making it worse.
You've hinted at like weird jigsaw-like lifestyle choices.
Yeah. I legitimately might just do a one-shot where it's just like Ilex is just like kind of like, I've just made like a maze, and then it's like people are getting hurt, and he's like, not what I wanted, but good information.
Well, someone's got to make the dungeons.
Absolutely.
The dungeons and the dragons are already there, so...
I become basically like the Daedalus, again, more Greek mythology, where I'm just like, I design puzzles for people.
I designed terror dungeons where people die who aren't worthy.
Yeah.
You're Jigsaw, that's what that means.
Absolutely. If you wanted to die, you wouldn't have fallen in the slime pit. Yeah. I
mean, that's somewhat utilitarian, but...
It's a strange world. Just again, sort of like,
why are you here?
Yeah, you wanted gold. Your sin is greed and the desire for treasure. Just again, sort of. I think that's the weird thing now being a DM. It's like I can kind of like close off some of the loops that I felt haven't been, sort of like by the time you've seen this, where Wilby's now ended up in Waterdeep and has probably now been crushed by the statue, where I'm just like,
Well, you said there were more statues, but are they permanent?
So basically, it fell. The rubble from the Busy Bees universe fell and hit buildings. So there's a few sort of like. I'd think sort of like the architecture of Waterdeep's been changed, not massively, but there's like half statues.
Extra buttocks, There's extra buttocks.
And I think for like the archaeologists in Waterdeep, it's fascinating, just sort of like, and also there's a whole ton of fresh stone coming in. So like a lot of these things were like, if buildings are being repaired, they're like, yeah, we replaced it with bits of naked statue, just.
Oh, that's given me a horrible mental image.
Yeah. There's a bar. Let's say a certain thing is now just the wall. It's
the bar. It's the bar.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got to be a thing we do now. That's amazing.
Put it on the list.
The bar's just a gigantic stone wang.
I mean, apart from that, sort of like, I'm just excited to see what else comes, sort of like...
I'm always amazed by what people pitch,
Yeah.
Yeah. Always wacky, interesting new things.
And that's sort of like, more recently, it's been nice because I've sort of been in the habit of just making new characters. And then now I'm sort of like, I've gone back and done a bit more of Pip, a bit more of Zlaney, to kind of like... I feel Wilby's story's done. Wilby's now just...
NPC bumbling.
Yes. Let's see if this comes up. But actually, this is my canon thing that in the Busy Bees universe, Amaryllis was involved in the death of the son of the hag, the monster hunters.
Right.
Hunting. And so the story I tell is that Amaryllis, being a sweetheart, was like, oh no, this otter's going to be in trouble. Throws him in the river to get away. Wilby's hat comes off. All the gunk comes out, and poor Busy Bees Amaryllis thinks, I made an otter explode.
So that's not the Amaryllis from the timeline that we're all in. That's a separate multiverse Amaryllis.
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's the Busy Bees Amaryllis. So I don't think...
that Busy Bees multiverse is gone.
That's
the Busy Bees universe is gone, yes.
But Amaryllis is in Waterdeep, so Wilby finds this poor hagling. I was like, it's just... This poor hagling is just attacked by an otter. He's like, you tried to murder me. It's like, I don't know what's happening. Why is this wet weasel attacking me?
We're getting into weird Doctor Strange 2 territories of you killed me in another universe kind of conversations.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm down for that.
Hey guys, when you watch the epilogue and then there's a bit where you see a green woman being chased by a weaselly creature, you know what's happening. That's an explanation.
That's just lovely Easter eggs now. That's great.
Yeah, I just again, this has been the fun of me running this campaign where I've just there have been some times where people have just been like, bit much. I'm like, it amuses me, and that's why I do everything. Yeah.
Also, like you're DMing live for players who can react to you live, but there are also a huge audience who we can't see reacting because we pre-record, who will literally watch it and be in the chat going, "Oh my fucking god!" And they are. We've seen them do it. Yeah. So people see things before players see things.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's the problem. Like you're too close to it as a player, and then sort of like, I mean. I'm looking forward to our talk together because without being too much like, did you get what I'm doing? Do you get why that's like that?
Oh, so you're going to do a talk together which is confrontational.
Yeah. Did you get how clever I am?
It'll be, hey, so we're doing a talk together because I want you to know how much I thought about it.
There was a moment that I have with you actually without spoiling where I mentioned sort of like someone having like horns, and you're like, like antlers, and I went, nope, and you just see you go, just like, he's not doing that, but yeah, we'll little spoilers there, but yeah. Anyway, so in conclusion, I'm really, having sort of like switched my brain over doing DMing for this sort of, let's say, this season. Excited just to be. Well. I did, yes. But almost sort of like having done Viscous Cycle, where I was like, okay, I'm now into a new sort of thing. I'm just excited, and having this is the thing, like doing Crash and Burn, where it's free of my former DMs, and so it's true. Yeah, so it's a little bit where I'm kind of like, I made you some content.
All three of us, like me, Sean, and Emma, and you, all four of us, we're all very different DMs. Yeah. We're all very different humans. So of course we're going to make very different stories. So I like that we've got that variation. I think if we let the warlock back in and we let Pip back in, then probably do one more room. You remember that?
I think that's fair.
All right, let's get them back in.
Let's go back in.
Where are they? Where are they? I am weary of being pulled away.
Oh.
Pip, are you still with me?
I am. I think I got a hot date, which we're gonna have to do a lot of like stuff in those restaurants we have to eat in the dark, a bit like this place.
Our alter egos bore me.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
All right.
I've got another room for you, Pip.
Hooray!
You can leave the restaurant, by the way. Medusa will leave and the lights will come up, and it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. Everything's fine. I shall see her back and just go, nice snakes. Yeah.
God damn it, Tom. Roll that D100 and see what the next door is. Stop breaking my alter ego, damn it.
Is it horny or is it just appreciative?
It's appreciative. I'm no.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm a cryptid. I can appreciate an attractive snake person. 88. Tom can also appreciate an attractive snake person. There's a crossover.
Shush.
Shushing.
You open the door, and it is a stone door.
Oh.
2 handles you have to pull, and as you do, sand starts to trickle from the space in between, scurries around. The restaurant floor is getting very dirty.
Oh no.
About 1/3 of your body height up, a sand dune greets you. Try to scramble up it to get into the next room, although it looks like you're outdoors.
I do. Yes.
Scrambling up and over the sand dune, you find yourself in an open desert landscape, a bright sky and dunes for miles around you. There is a statue of a leonin looking smug. It sits there looking at you, and its mouth opens impossibly wide, and it says, "What is always old and sometimes new, never sad, sometimes blue, never empty, but sometimes full, never pushes, always pulls."
Well, I'm usually not very good at riddles.
You can always roll an intelligence check if you want.
Yeah, but Pip also canonically has a very strong relationship with the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think for having played word puzzles with an elk that does not speak common is you tell her a word puzzle and then she bites you. Hello, statue. I think it's my good friend, my third best friend, the moon.
The statue stops looking quite so smug. Begrudgingly, it bows to you, and a door at the base of the pedestal it stands on opens, which you may enter when it's done.
Pip turns to the camera. See? I'm not always stupid. Oh, fell over.
Pip,
Yes.
as you walk through this door, you enter another room, but this room only has me in it.
Oh, hello.
And I'm standing right in, probably a little too close. Right in
That's all
front.
right. I also have problems with social distancing. Hello, would you like to be part of a quadruplet?
Never speak to me on that subject again.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, we could go get coffee after I've signed the book, and you could talk to me about it. I'm a good listener.
That sounds like fun. Let's do that.
Let's do that. Yeah.
So where's my book?
Oh, I'll go into my pack, and I pull out it's like an advanced author's copy. Where I carry a lot of these around. They're not actually selling that well because I don't think people go to the Feywild. They go to the Feywild by accident. You know, they step into a ring or something. But actually, so this is
Maybe we should keep them in like Feywild motels.
That's not a terrible idea. Actually.
People arrive and often by mistake, and then they can walk in and go, "Oh, now I know what to do."
Yeah, I think that's actually quite a solid idea. I mean, I'm not saying that we should start a business, but...
No, that is my gift to you. I have more money than I know what to do with. Souls are so expensive.
Oh.
Now, sign it. Sign my book. Sign my book.
You know...
Sign my book, Pip.
I turned to the page where I'm like, be careful with what you agree to. I sign it, Tom. Interesting, eh?
The plot thickens.
Sorry, what did you just do? I thought that was the best way of doing it. No, I'm not you. But you are me, aren't you? You see, I don't appreciate this. Pip is also just switching modes. You're just a guy wearing antlers. You are just a guy wearing antlers. That's all you are.
The warlock snaps the book shut. Thank you. I will cherish it always.
Enjoy. There's some recipes in there in case you want to do some cooking.
I love a bit of cooking.
Yeah, it's fun.
Takes you away from it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for joining me in my Fact Emporium. You've been a most welcome guest. Pip, I'm going to pass this up through Tom, potentially. Tom, darling, you can hear me now. You can hear me now.
I'm very angry at Pip. I'd like to point that out. May the record show that I don't... He's uncontrollable. He's wild.
This was Pip's choice, and now I'm afraid Pip's choices are somewhat final for you.
Well, I didn't technically sign it, but we're probably gonna have to. I'll meet you at the crossroads. Let's try and sort this out again.
No problem.
It's always nice to see you, Warlock, though.
Me too.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to plug?
Yes. So sort of like I said, like I'm doing Crash and Burn, which I think by the time you see this, will be coming like. 4th episode coming up. Also, I'm doing a lot of stuff with Queen's Court Games, who are part of our stream team. So do go support them. Also,
put a link in chat.
Link. Apart from that, if you look up Thomas Jancis, which is Jancis, me. You know, there's social stuff.
Kobolds put more links in chat.
And now, Kobolds, just put a link to a nice picture. Just an amusing, something that makes you happy.
Well done, good boys.
They're very good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Oh, you have more.
Also,
I'm sorry.
Hello, the Question Lord here. I don't really appreciate what's happening. Tom's mine, obviously, so...
we'll have to fight about this another time.
Yeah, let's. I'll tell you what. Once you finish your coffee with the once you finish your coffee with the stag man, I think we need to have a bit of a chat.
Well, maybe we can do that next week. I think you need to talk to someone else next week, though. We'll have to have a longer chat in the break room about this.
Yeah, let's let them see my labyrinth of the law, or whatever we're calling it now.
Well, your labyrinth doesn't contain a signed contract. Anyway.
Hold on, I need to go through like 2 different layers here. Hold on. Okay, what's happening? Hold on. I'm back. Hello.
Anyway, thank you for joining us on the show. As Tom said, we're currently streaming Crash and Burn on Tuesdays, and on Mondays, I think we've just started The Wreckage of Myth Dranor, which I hear someone close to me is having a very good time DMing. Anyway, join us for that on Mondays, and we stream Talking as a Free Action on the weekend on Fridays, that's correct, although we will occasionally stream a talk together, as you saw last week with the post-show conversation with the cast of Anarchy in the Astral Sea. So sometimes Talking is a Free Action, sometimes talk together. Dealer's choice. All of our shows stream at twitch.tv/altogetherrpg. There's a YouTube link in chat, and there's always podcast versions of everything that we do. The D20 Club, my greatest patrons of all, are wonderful, and we love them very much. And thank you for all of your support, as well as all of our other sponsors and supporters. Pip, I'm going to return you to where you came from, and this will all seem nary but a dream, but don't forget, I own Tom now.
I think you did previously. I think Tom has a nasty habit of just signing up to things. But have you ever seen the film Constantine? This is what I'm doing. So many people owe me.
Chris, this is all semi-in-universe, so you know it's mine now. You're mine now.
Hey, as long as I get to keep playing the games. Occasionally I have to do terrible tasks, but that's fine. I've got a free weekend.
It will be and is taken back, and I will settle back into my home, gently stroking my latest toy. I do so love when a plan comes together.